Dewsbury TV.
Coming up in this week's show, it's stripy shirts again, but this time it's at the Bobtown Beer Bash. Ash shows you how to download the show. We talk to a cute dog. And we talk to a guy in some cool boots. Anna has a few beers and tries to nick those cool boots.
Can I steal your boots?
No.
You just can't take some folk anywhere. All coming up on Dewsbury TV.
And here is the news from Dewsbury TV. I'm Anna Stead.
And I'm Gale Hall.
A man has been spared jail despite stealing almost £10,000 from the North Hall Trust. Leeds Crown Court saw that Lee McCone, 36, of Rochdale Road, Halifax, was convicted of defrauding the charity, where he worked as the main chef on Wednesday. The father of 3 was given a company credit card to buy catering supplies, but would use it to claim cashback, pocketing £100 on transactions that cost just £10, the court heard. McCone deceived the charity over a 20-month period between 2009 and 2010. His deception only surfaced when accounts that should have been in profit were found to be in deficit. Prosecutor Imran Khan said, "This only came to light after limited profits from the year prior had been £900 and in 2010 their profits were minus £3,500. When questioned by North Hall Child and Family Trust, McCone admitted taking £221. It was deducted from his wages and he was dismissed. However, further investigations by the charity found that £9,585 was missing. Staff at the charity, which supports children's mental and emotional health, said they were shocked by the amount stolen, which could have provided support for at least 19 children and 18 volunteers for a year. McCone was given a 12-month suspended sentence with 240 hours unpaid work. He must also pay £2,000 to the charity.
In order to stop a much-loved building from being demolished, people are willing to chain themselves to it. Kirklees Council's decision to bulldoze a Walker Welfare Centre using emergency powers spurred outrage amongst local Thornhill residents, after a new community group was set up with the primary aim of bringing the 200-year-old building back into use. Sean Maddox, Thornhill Community Group member, said, "People are waiting for the bulldozers to come. They're waiting to get arrested. They will chain themselves to the building." The building, which was gifted to the community by a philanthropist as a base for new community group. Mr Maddox has submitted an urgent application to English Heritage to get the centre in Edge Lane protected. Tenders for the demolition work are required, but it is thought the bulldozers will move in within a couple of weeks. Andy Waring, a concerned resident, said, "This really is the last piece of history left in Thornhill. Everywhere else has already been demolished. It would be heartbreaking if it were to be knocked down too." The building, originally scheduled for demolition in 2008, but was handed to the community for conversion into a community centre with a grant of £100,000. A structural report showed it was an immediate health and safety risk internally and externally, and beyond economic repair. Kirklees Council said the building was handed back to them last week as a result. Fences put up to protect the site were torn at the weekend, an act of protest in Mr Maddox's opinion. Kizar Iqbal, former Dewsbury South councillor, has accused Kirklees Council of betraying the people of Thornhill by pushing ahead with the demolition. There was a meeting held last Tuesday between councillors, council officers and community members. Mr Iqbal said a promised report on the way forward for the buildings would be prepared. He went on to say, "Yet 2 days later it was announced that the building was to be demolished. We all feel misled and we have been lied to in the most shameless way possible." Councillors have hit back his claim. Councillor Salim Patel, Labour Dewsbury South, said, "In that meeting, we never discussed anything about demolition. The officer said they would review the whole situation. We agreed there would be another meeting and we would take it forward. Then without any consultation with us, they decided to demolish it. It was a shock to me." Councillor Masood Ahmed, also Labour, said, "I am not happy for 1 minute, not when I have fought tirelessly for this building in the past." A Kirklees Council spokesman said the speed of the demolition process was really a matter of urgency because it is dangerous.
Jatinder Dosanjh, owner of Hughes Chemist in Suthill, Batley, went to the Belfry in Sutton Coldfield to receive the Alfiga Pharmacy Regional Award at a gala dinner held there recently. He was presented with an engraved trophy and £1,000. His customer service was put to the test by mystery shoppers before the awards. Sue Moore, Alfiga General Manager, said, "With over 20 years of community pharmacy service, Jatinder has embraced the Alfiga pharmacy concept to redesign and refit this healthy living pharmacy to better suit the changing needs of his community. He has consistently achieved excellent customer care standards within the pharmacy and strives to provide his customers with excellent healthcare services." Mr. Dosanjh said, "I'm really pleased. The award is more for the staff, really, to recognise the effort and engagement the staff are putting in. It's that which I'm particularly proud of."
Despite widespread public opposition, Dewsbury and District Hospital's A&E department is to be downgraded. The first phase will begin in April 2014 with Pinderfields Hospital in Wakefield, which will oversee some of its maternity and children's services. Feedback from people in North Kirklees has prompted the Mid Yorkshire Hospital Trust into being asked to make a number of changes, hence its radical service reorganisation. Pinderfields should be the area's main site for the most serious emergency cases. High-risk births and children's inpatient care, health bosses agreed. Outpatient care and planned surgery with an emergency daycare unit open 24 hours will be Dewsbury's new focus. Members of the North Kirklees and Wakefield clinical commissioning groups made the decisions to allow the changes following a 3-month public consultation. Graham Wilson of the campaign company talked through the feedback. He said, "This has caused significant and vocal opposition from campaigners and some stakeholders, and that particularly focuses on North Kirklees. 9 recommendations were passed by the board and linked to the service strategy, which means the plans can go ahead. 6 changes were recommended to be made to the plans subject to financial and clinical impact. These included urgent local assessment at Dewsbury for all outpatients who do not need to be admitted to Pinderfields, more post-operative care at Dewsbury and longer hours for the Children's Assessment Unit. They also suggested that the emergency daycare unit be consultant-led with consultants on site during the day and provide surgical procedures and specialist assessment for frail elderly patients."
Dewsbury Sports Centre last month held a target archery competition. Junior archers from local schools flocked to take part. 11 schools in Batley and Dewsbury saw budding archers take part in a 3-round contest as they targeted regional glory at the event on Saturday 29th of June. Each participant got at least 15 shots at the target for their team, with a total of 84 children taking part in the 3-round event. The winner fired a total of 156 arrows over the entire day. Huddersfield's Mould Green Primary School took the honours on the day, beating their rivals to take gold. Crow Lane School's B team, also from Huddersfield, took silver, whilst Hetmond Wyke's Holy Spirit won bronze. The highest placed Dewsbury school was St Paulinus, who came 4th, while only one Batley team, Field Lane A, made it into the second round and finished in 10th. Target, established in 2004, is a mobile sports business whose aim is to make archery accessible to more people. They have recently expanded to include cricket and golf and provide regular events and competitions in all 3 sports across the region. They also currently hold a schools archery league, which consists of 4 rounds spread out around the school year. This year's league has recently finished with Dewsbury's Overthorpe C of E School taking the honours. Target are always on the lookout for more children to attend their established archery club at Dewsbury Sports Centre. Anyone interested can call Sabir Makda on 0771 7211 547 or visit them at these websites. That's the news from Dewsbury TV. I'm Anna Seed.
And I'm Gale Hall.
We want you to be a part of the show. If you've got any interesting pictures or videos, please send them to us at dewsburytv@gmail.com.
After 119 years, Emily Show has grown into one of the most well-attended and respected events in Yorkshire, showcasing agriculture at its best. This year's show will be no different, with shows from the Blazing Saddle Stunt Team, Ridgeside Falconry and Emily Band. There's a dog show, a marquee with lunch facilities and a bar, with plenty to do for the kids, with a traditional Punch and Judy and bouncy castle and slide to name a couple. Check out the website.
Award-winning shows like the one in Mirfield are rare. How lucky we are in West Yorkshire to have one right here in Mirfield. The list of events has not been published yet, but if past year's events are to go by, we are in for a treat. Previously, Mirfield has brought us helicopters, parachutists, BMX trial bike displays, dog displays, llama agility, duck herding, racing terriers, large-scale gymnastics, birds of prey, dancers, children's rides, silver bands, play beaches, alpacas, archery, motorbikes, truck racing, laser battles, climbing walls, silver bands, bouncy castles, fire engines, prison dogs, ride-on steam trains, trampolines, mini farmyards, jazz bands, puppet shows, martial arts displays, Roman reenactments, and this doesn't include the hundreds of competitions. Phew! I'm shattered already. Check out their website for more details and prices.
Have a whale of a time at Dewsbury and Sea this year. Seriously, there will be a 50-foot whale there, as well as swashbucklers, theatre group Circo Rumbar Bar, Viking warriors, donkey rides, lots of sand and a petting zoo. And that's the What's on Diary for this week.
Connection a bit slow? I like to put this show on your hard drive to watch later. Here's how you do it. Download the YTD video downloader from this link. Install it on your system. It's free. Go to the YouTube page where Dewsbury TV show is located. Copy the address from the address bar on your browser. In this case, Google Chrome, but it's the same in Internet Explorer. Paste that information into the download page of YTD. Press download. YTD will now show you the activity page, showing you the size, speed and ETA of the file. Unless you change it, by default, the file will download to your Documents folder, as Dewsbury TV in its MP4 format. Windows will play this no problem. Next week, we will cover the downloading and converting of other formats you may download with this program, for instance, FLV formats. Good luck, and any questions, email us at dewsburytv@gmail.com.
Whether you're buying a suit or having a brew, it's a really good day after Batley Mill.
And now it's time for the feedback this week.
First in, feedback via YouTube from David Prime. Many thanks for including my bit of footage from the Crown of Lights Festival.
And that's quite interesting actually, because we do encourage people to send in footage of anything they've taken, of any event, because we will use it if it's of good enough quality. And David Prime's it was well edited, well put together, and we just used it in its entirety. So well done, David, thank you very much. And if anybody else wants to send us any similar footage of anything, please feel free to do so. And if it's good enough, we'll stick it straight on. If it does need a little bit of editing, then we do reserve the right to chop and change it slightly, and we hope you understand that. Next feedback is from Joyce Lee from Facebook. It says, the best one yet, very interesting and varied, lots of different subjects. It's very enjoyable, everyone enjoying themselves. Joyce, loved it. Thank you very much.
And the next one via Facebook is Melanie Jane Kershaw. Lovely to wake up on a Saturday morning and watch the best show on YouTube. Well done, everyone.
Here's hoping the council have a change of heart on the Walker Welfare Building. It would be a sin to demolish such a building that's meant so much to the community. Maybe a petition could be put on Facebook so that people like me who live overseas can also sign. We may not live in the community, but Dewsbury will always be our home. Dewsbury TV, can't wait till the next show. Thank you for all the work you do to put together the show we all enjoy. You guys rock.
And from Jeff Blacker on Facebook, another great episode, folks, getting more professional each week. I don't know who they're talking about. Keep the sense of fun, though. That makes it even more enjoyable. All the doom and gloom merchants should watch Dewsbury TV. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Okay, next up, Facebook again. And this one from Barbara Hunter. I just enjoyed my episode of Dewsbury Energy and Fun. I can't believe there is so much happening in that community, catering for all our different tastes. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you very much. And Sharon Hobson Brogden from Facebook again. Great coverage of the Crown of Lights Music Festival. Can't wait for the next one. And again, thanks to David Prime for putting his footage in there as well. We did have a small problem with our equipment, which people may have picked up. Some of our footage looked a little crazy. We could call that artistic, but we won't lie. We just had a bit of a problem with one of the cameras. And we've since invested in a little bit more equipment. What happened again?
Okay, and Facebook again. This one from David Butcher. It's a brilliant idea. Something new instead of the same old, same old. Love watching local people doing the things in the community. Well done to you all. Thanks, David.
Rumour has it David Butcher is actually a butcher.
It seems so.
Very well, aptly named. Dawn Tinkerbell Greaves from Facebook. Just watched episode 4. Loving the added comedy. Makes it even more appealing. And what's your point on that, Gail?
It's not added, it's all natural.
It's not added, it's just how it works out.
Okay, Spud Wood from Facebook. We watched Dewsbury TV yesterday. It was really good. Quite funny as well. He's quite funny to look at, in all fairness.
Yes. I like the name Spud. I wish I was Spud.
You look like a Spud.
I'm Spud. Spud Merrick from now on. Everybody calls me Spud. What did you say?
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head. Right, thank you very much. And from Janet Lee, moving swiftly on, from Facebook again. Once again, a pleasure to watch Dewsbury TV. I enjoyed every minute. Well done, Anna, Gail, Simon and Ash, for your upbeat reporting. Come on and take a bow then if you want. Well done, Thornhill United, for your winning season. Great paintings, David Martin. And thanks for the wonderful explanation of the connection between Venetian mercantile architecture and Dewsbury's own. Your Canaletto-style rendition of Dewsbury is a great new perspective. I also like seeing the decorative interior of the town hall. I enjoyed seeing a lot of my Facebook friends supporting the Walker Welfare Building in Thornhill. Hope you get to keep the building. Simon and Sean's involvement in Thornhill's heritage is apparent and made for very good, relaxing interviewing and reporting. Keep the outtakes coming. It's very down to earth and funny. I've tried to keep feedback short, but it appears to be against my nature. No, it's very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, Facebook again. Kevin Whittaker. Another great episode and great to see Anna and Gail as the anchors. Thank you, Kevin.
And from Rob Sanderson on Facebook.
What does he want?
Who's our sound engineer? Can you pan down to him and back? That's it. Actually, in shot would be a good idea. There we go. And back to us. Oh, that's it. He said, just watched episode 4, and I have a complaint. It didn't go on long enough.
I think he's taking the mickey.
We're actually breaking the precedent here. We're including feedback from one of our staff.
It's like watching Schindler's List and then Titanic.
It did work out last week's at 40 minutes, okay? My aim point for the episodes was always between 20 and 30 minutes. I'm not quite sure what this one's going to turn out like yet because we haven't edited it yet. But it got to 40 minutes, but everything was relevant. We had 4 different features and they all needed to be in that week. But people say both things to us. They say A, it's too long, and B, it's too short. So we can't really win on that. We have to pick the medium we think is best.
And just for the record, I like Schindler's List and Titanic. No, I totally agree.
Good. And that's the feedback for this week.
rent. Well, I'm flat broke, but I don't care. I slide right by with my tail in the air. Steak and stir.
Hi, my name's Lynette Stone.
Nice to meet you, Lynette. How long have you been involved with the Bobtown Beer Bath?
Well, this is the 4th year now, and I've been involved right from the start, so 4 years.
4 years. And has it grown bigger every year that you've been
it has,
involved?
definitely. You can tell by the number of glasses that we buy, for example. First year we bought 500 half glasses, because we had no idea, how it was going to go. And one of our helpers, who runs a pub, was bringing in glasses. We were running out. So the second year we bought 700.
Right.
All ran out. We were getting glasses in from everywhere again. Last year we bought 1,200, and that just about did it. So we've got 1,200 again this year. So that's roughly how many people we're expecting.
Right, 1,200 people, so it really is big.
It is.
I bet not everybody I speak to knows about the Bobtown Beer Bath. So
Well, it's a fine line between going overboard with publicity and having it absolutely heaving, and just leaving it as it is, not advertising it much more than we already do, and having like that happy medium. Because the first and second years we really did publicise it around all the camera sites, on Facebook. We have a village website, and it's on, there's a page on there. We are talking about getting our own website next year, but we do feel after the first two, especially, that we don't really need to publicise it too much.
Okay.
It's one of those things.
So where do you publicise it now?
Well, in the village, because it's the origination of it was for it to be a village event, you see. So obviously all the local shops carry posters, and the school and that kind of thing. And then the camera have it on all their festival websites. Any local beer festivals that happen before us, we publicise it there. We go to them. And Facebook is a big one, and the village website.
Okay,
So, yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you want other people to come and enjoy it, to sample your beers. Do you often run out of beer?
We want to run out of beer, because obviously we don't want any left, but we want to try and make it last until at least, sort of early evening. The first year we'd run out by about 6:30.
Right.
The second year we bought lots more beer, and we lasted a little bit longer. The third year we bought more again, lasted till about 8:30, I think, 9 o'clock last year, and we've bought more this year, so hopefully, But there's a limit to how many we can physically sell over the bar, and again, we always tell people to come early if they want the variety. We've got 40 different beers, so if you wanted to sample as many of those as you can, you need to be early, because obviously they start running off.
Are they all locally produced beers?
They're not, no. It kind of goes to all corners. He did think about originally having like a theme, where they were all going to be local, or they might all be not local, but it's just a mix. It's just a very general mix, really.
But it's a really good event to come to.
It is, yeah. Everybody's enjoyed it. We've had no trouble in all the time, all the 4 years. Hopefully, we've not had any bother. Yeah. Everybody enjoys it. The weather, even though it's rained every year so far, hasn't spoilt it. It doesn't seem to make any difference. People still come. So
This is great.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so much for giving time to talk to us.
You're
I know you're
welcome,
terribly
thank
busy,
you.
so
Yes.
thank you.
Hello.
I'm Anna, and I work for Dewsbury TV. What's your name?
My name's Bob.
Your name's Bob.
My name's Bob at Bobtown Bash, yeah?
Bobtown Bash. Have you done the Bobtown Bash every year?
Yes, I have.
And what do you sell?
Well, before I was helping the Buckles brothers who were doing the barbecue.
Right.
This year we thought we'd put old bar top foods that's quite quaint, because it's what it's all about, bar top.
Right, so what products do you actually have for us to buy today?
We've got your pickled eggs, your pickled gherkins, fatten bread, which is a big winner, and then we've got a selection of pork pies, black pudding pork pies, roasted peanuts, and the good old pork scratchings.
Oh, fantastic, for anybody that likes things that are horrible. No, I'm sure they're lovely, it's just I don't like. I'm sorry, I won't be one of your customers today, but you're not only doing this, you also have a greengrocers in the village, yeah?
I do, yeah.
Fantastic, so everybody should come to your greengrocers because you have the best produce, yeah?
Only the best. Only the best, yes.
Thanks very much for your time, Bob.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Get a shoe thrown at me from a mean old man. Get my dinner from a garbage can. Don't cross my path.
My name's Anna Anna Seed. I work for Dewsbury TV. Can I ask you what your name is?
I'm Malcolm Firth.
Malcolm Firth, nice to meet you. I've been told that you are the guy in charge of everything to do with the Bobtown Bay Bash.
Well, I'm possibly not in charge of it all because there's ladies present, as you might say. But what I am in charge of is being the chairman of the event itself.
Right, and the event's been running for 4 years, but we don't know exactly how it came about, so could you tell us a bit about the history of Bobtown Bay Bash?
Yes, it was born about because belonging to the running club, as a running club member, the Robertstown Roadrunners,
right.
we meet socially once a month, first Saturday in the month, and then we've progressed out to a local beer festival across at Armitage Bridge, Huddersfield, the Monkey Fest. And while we've been there, taking a few beers on, one or two of us just started to suggest, why not have this in our own village? On the third occasion, we took the plunge and we decided that we would do it. So the fourth event of the Monkey Fest, this was born.
Right.
And we introduced it here at Robertstown Community Centre.
Wow, so it's been a roaring success there every year so far?
It certainly has. It's frighteningly successful.
Right.
40 different beers, 44 kegs in total, and 21 of those are sponsored.
Fantastic, that sounds like a fantastic
It's a great deal.
partnership. Yeah,
It helps,
really well, yeah.
it works.
What about the bands that you've got on? How do you go about getting these guys?
Well, again, through my inabilities to understand music, to know what music people really like, we muddled through the first couple of years in the nicest possible way. We simply rang round, we sent flyers around, and one or two bands came along and said, I'd like to play, can we come along? So we jumbled it all together, but we then equally realised, and so did the band members who were playing at that time, that we could improve it steadily away. And that improvement has come about this year as well, with the improved stage provided free of charge to us. The gentleman in the red t-shirt out the front, Chris Nero, he's our entertainment organiser. He's a musician himself as well, plays in the band A Band in Your Head,
yeah.
I do believe. And he can summons all the local bands and the lads he can depend on to come along and play.
So next year is going to be even bigger?
Next year, well, hopefully yes, but we're all but on capacity, but I know that somewhere up there's a lot of space, so we might be tearing it up. We can't get much bigger, we've got boundary walls around us, we can only get so much beer inside on the stillage, but who knows what might happen. We might be excavating and putting a deeper cellar in and doing...
Oh, I do hope so.
I've no idea, no idea.
Oh, so thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you sure? Cheers, me matey!
We'd like to obviously say thank you to Utopian Room.
Can I steal your boots?
No.
Oh, I like them.
I like them, that's why I've got them on.
What's your name?
My name's Chris Nero. I live in Murfield.
You live in Murfield, right? So you're a local lad, and I've been told that you're the guy in charge of the music.
I've organised all the bands, all the stage, everything for today's event.
Okay, and I've been coming for the last 3 years, so I know that it's developed and changed every year.
Yeah, well, it's always going to change. The change is that it's going to get bigger and it's going to get better. The problem we've got is we can't get it any bigger now than it is.
Yeah.
I think we've got to a plateau where it's going to be as it is. And because it's a small community village, Robertstown, if we change it anywhere else, it's not going to be Robertstown community.
It's not going to be Bobtown Bay Bash.
Well, it's not going to be. So I think we've got to a plateau now where it's end of story. It's going to be as big as it is, and that's it.
Right. How do you go about getting hold of the bands? Do you hold interviews, or do you just...
We do. Sometimes we get people saying, I want to play, and this, that, and the other. And with it being a community event, local bands want to play. So we just say, yeah, no problem. And we have a maximum of 8 bands. And once the slots are filled, that's it, end of story, really.
Okay.
So,
how does anybody go about getting involved with the event? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can email me on chrisnero1305@gmail.com, or they can get in touch with my band, which is A Band in Your Head, through Facebook, which is A Band in Your Head. And that's it basically. They can get in touch with me if they want to play. You know, send us some videos or some MP3s, and you can have a listen and see what they want to do.
That's really... What's your name? Patricia and...
Joost.
Joost. Where are you from? The Netherlands. From the Netherlands. And Do you live in Robertown? No. So you've come over to get something?
for the beer.
Wow! So you're visiting friends?
We're visiting friends.
Okay, you're visiting friends in Dewsbury. Fantastic. And what's your favourite beer today?
I now have a Coast from Dewsbury, so I tried it. It's very good. But
I've got a Masters. Very good.
Yeah, his is better.
My name's Anna. I work with Dewsbury TV. What's your name?
I'm Christy.
And what band do you play in?
Playing the Flaming Abdabs.
Flaming Abdabs. And how long have you been together?
We've been together now just over a year, I would say.
Just over a year.
Yeah.
Do you only play local gigs or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We do it for fun, I think, more than anything else. It's very rare we do any sort of paid gigs at the moment. But we do lots of charity stuff.
And this is very much a charity event, isn't it? And have you done this every year?
No, this is on the second year we've actually played. The other guys have played with different bands, but this is the first time, the second time we've played here. So
okay, that's great.
You gonna be my girl? Please take my hand and come with me because you look so fine and I really want to make you mine. You look so fine and I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks now. You don't need money with a face like that.
Yeah, I live in Robertown. Fantastic local zoo. It's a fantastic community. But look at the weather, look at the amount of people here. It's fantastic. Yeah, drink, you big talker. Oh, it's like it's the council's on me.
Chasing mice around. I sucked down the valley, I was looking for a fight. Out into the moonlight on a hot summer's night. Well, I'm sitting on blues and all the rain that's gone. You're straight at your real long eye. I wish I could be one step from wide, but I can't do a lesson. I can't stop.
And I feel your furry thing.
Thank you very much indeed. Well done.
Are we ready? So, a structural report showed it was an immediate. A structural report showed it was an immediate health and safety. Right.
This week's show.
Mr. Iqbal said a promised report on the way forward to the no. Check out the website. Check out the website for more details and prices.
Customers put his service to the test before the awards in order to test the quality. Oh, what did I write? What am I writing? The list of events has not been published yet, but if past
Coming up in this week's show, stripy shirts again, but this time it's the Bobtown Beer Bash. We talk to a cool dog. Yeah, be nice to Keith.
Pignerfield should be the area's main site for the most serious emergency cases, high-risk births and children's inpatient. also suggested that the emergency daycare unit be consultant-led, with consultants on site. And that's the What's on Diary. Go on.
And that's the What's on Diary?
Diary.
Right, right. That doesn't work with me because I read all 7 Harry Potter books in 3 days. I don't lose it. Oh, and films. The films are crap. Absolute bobbing.
Your fault this week.
I know, well. Spectate. Might always be our fault. Have to share. Look what it's doing with his head.